What's happening, family? Dr. Joe here. Happy Sunday to each of you, and I hope everyone is well and blessed. There's so many of you, 92 of you are live right now, waiting because you know this is going to be an amazing village chat discussion on tonight. I'm so glad to see each of you. Here we are. The days are moving quickly, the weeks are moving quickly, the time is moving quickly. And you know what they say? Time flies when you're having fun, and boy, aren't we having fun. People are getting results, miracles are being manifested, tomorrows are changing, lives are becoming purpose driven. And here we are together as a village for another great chat. So, want to welcome you all here. It's going to be action packed on tonight. But before I get to the action on tonight and my special guest that I have with us on this evening, I want to welcome all of you who are here. There are many of you who are participants in the world's greatest transformational process, the 4-day turn up or the journey, both under the auspices of 4 days with Dr. Joe. And I'm glad that you guys are here, as well as there may be those of you who are not participants. If you are a noob, or if you are not in one of the processes, let me know in the comment section. And if I can, I will be certain to shout you out. We're glad that you're here. So let me take some time to explain to those of you who may not know what this is. Many of you are going to watch this and see this in the future. Thousands of people will see this. But what I want you to know is, here we have a transformational process called the 4-day turn up. Then there's a successive process called the journey, which is an invitational based upon people who complete the 40-day turn up. We work on holistic transformation, mind, body, and spirit. In order to change a person, you can't compartmentalize a person, because all of us are spiritual beings having a humanistic experience. So if ever you are trying to change, it has to be holistic, mind, body, and spirit. We do it in a very, very unique way. And we've been able to get some great results in the lives of many, many people. A lot of folks think that what we do is weight loss because that's what the eyes see first. But there must be spiritual, mental, and emotional change before you can physically manifest anything. So that's what we do here. Now, if you want more information about who I am, what we do, what the 4-day turn up is, what the journey is, visit us at journeylife.tv. Once again, that's journey, Journey, life.tv. It'll tell you everything that you need to know right there. It's a free downloadable book there. It's no charge. It gives you information about me, the different processes. You can follow us also on Instagram at Journey Life TV, as well as Facebook. There are many transformational examples on our Instagram page. You want to follow that today. We have many updates on Facebook for those of you who may not be on Instagram, Journey Life TV. Village Chat is an opportunity for us to spotlight real life participants who are actually in the process of the 4-day turn up or Journey 3.0. And what we love about this is it gives those of us who are in the process together, as well as those who may be desiring to be in a future process or who sees this at any given time, insight as to what it feels like to go through this process, how people change. The one thing that binds us together is not our race, it's not our religion, it's not our culture, it's not our socioeconomic status, it's not our sexual preferences, because in many instances, all of those can be different. But what makes us the same is that we were all made and we're all children of God, as well as we all have a story. And the human story is something that is a common thread that brings all of us together. And when you can listen to a person's story, you'll see that you're more like them than unlike them, regardless of religion, race, creed, culture, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, etc. So here it gives us the opportunity to spotlight the most important commodity that the world has, and that's human beings. We spotlight their stories. We learn more about them. We let them share with us their experiences, their ups, their downs, and it's able to make a difference in the lives of those of us who listen. Now, today we got a double header. Doubleheader is because we have a participant in the 40-day turn up who you will meet first, as well as we have two participants who are a husband and wife couple who are actually in the Journey 3.0 process. So it's going to be a double header. So let me take some time to introduce my first guest, who is a participant of the 40-day turn up. And I'm glad to have my brother, Danny Flores. Danny, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Dr. Joe?
I'm doing great, man. You feeling good? How you doing on this Sunday afternoon, evening?
Man, Sundays are always great. I get to go to church. I get to worship, with people from God, and then I get to go home and prep for the week.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, first of all, I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for agreeing to be a part, and I can't wait for us to learn more about you. So let's start off and just tell us about yourself, where you're from, what you do.
Oh, thanks for having me again. My name is Danny Flores. I was born in Puerto Rico, and I moved to the United States at the age of 12. I've been living in Connecticut ever since, except for the past 2 years where I lived in Georgia, and then I came back to Connecticut. So I'm currently in Norwich, Connecticut, and this is where I live.
Okay, so you're from Puerto Rico.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've been here since you were 8,
12, 12.
12, since you were 12.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. A lot of people, how is it moving from, I know America and Puerto Rico are connected in a lot of different ways, but
Mhm.
completely different culture, completely different language. How was it coming from Puerto Rico to America? And you weren't like itty bitty, you were 12. So, how
Yeah.
was that?
I mean, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, Puerto Rico and America are connected, but the socioeconomical imbalance is very broad. For starters, it was extremely difficult because in Puerto Rico we don't really focus on English. So when I came to the United States, it was a brand new language. I came here in the cold. That was the first time I experienced cold.
Right.
I believe it was even snowing when I first got to the United States and I touched the ground for the first time. And it was extremely difficult. You know what I mean? I am a big person. I'm a huge guy, and I believe that I contributed hugely to it because I moved here. I had to learn a new language. I had to still keep up with my academic success, and in the midst of all that, I pretty much pretended to know English
Mhm.
um, because when you come from a different country, if you are lucky, they stick you into a bilingual program, and that bilingual program you are with kids that are also came from a different country, and you are learning English and you're speaking Spanish, and you also do your academic work. But what happened, right? I have always been an overachiever. So in 6 months, the school decided that I knew too much English and threw me into the English program. And from that point onwards, I pretended to know English based on how I saw people interact. I
Really?
Yeah, I still maintain my A's and my B's because I was seeing the teacher and I was just basically reciprocating what they were doing. And I basically did my middle school and high school like that with no problems. Again, struggling to make friends because everybody spoke English. When I came to the United States, we live in a very small community, and most of them were Puerto Ricans. So at home, I had my friends, but at school, I was just winging it.
Wow.
It wasn't until I got to college that I realized I was struggling because in college it's no longer watching the teacher and reciprocating. You have to watch the teacher, learn the lectures, and then you have to go home and study the book.
Hmm.
So I
That's
got
amazing.
yeah,
What a story.
yeah. So from when I got to college, my GPA went from like 4.0 to like 2.2 because I didn't understand English. And the funny thing, Dr. Joe, is that I didn't even realize I didn't understand English until 2 years after I graduated from college. So I pretty much did college with a 3.0, not knowing any English. And then it wasn't until 2 years later that I realized I was just pretty much winging it the whole entire time.
That is amazing. Wow. I mean, it's so much to unpack there.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
no, I'm glad you no, I'm glad you said that. People in the chat group love the story. That's so fascinating. I mean, that speaks volumes about you and your tenacity and your just desire to, get it done. I mean, that's great. Um, how at what point were you able to learn English and what helped you to learn it?
So I was speaking English. I was, listening and responding. But again, I use visual cues to kind of understand what people were saying. And then a year, 2 years later, after college, I did this massive personal development program, and that's the first time I realized that I had to tell myself, "You don't know English." So like from that point onwards, every time I came across a word that I didn't understand, I would Google it. And I started learning English myself. I wasn't no longer reciprocating, or like kind of like copying what people were doing. But yeah, it was definitely a long process. Even to this day, when I talk to some of my friends, because again, it wasn't only the English part. It was hard connecting with people. It was
Right.
hard, building long lasting friendships because I was just pretty much I had a persona. This is who I was. Everybody thought I was super confident and super like enthusiastic, but I was just trying to end the conversation as quick as possible and kind of just fade into the group.
Right.
So even when I talk to some of my friends now that I kind of talk to them again, I'm like trying to like rekindle our relationship.
Mhm.
They have very vivid memories of us conversating, and I will tell them, yeah, I don't remember that because I was just pretty much playing along.
Well, let me ask you something because I think that you are going to be the perfect person to answer a question that many people want to know. And what I think, there are probably a lot of people who are watching this or who want to see this or who will see this and they want to learn a new language. Now, the experience that you've had, I'm sure you learned a lot. If you were ever going to give someone advice about learning a language that was not their native tongue, what advice would you give them?
Honestly, the best advice I could give someone is to like find someone that's willing to talk to them and learn with them, right? Finding people that are gonna be patient and like give you the answer without giving you a weird look because you don't understand is honestly the best gift. Um, I had somebody like that, when I was going through the process of like understanding English. Every time I had a question, I would ask her, and she would never like judge me. Definitely practicing every single day, hopping on a Zoom and speaking Spanish, for example, for an hour will be extremely and very beneficial. But yeah, it definitely practice and kind of finding that safe haven where no matter what you could ask questions and not be laughed at or judged for not knowing the answer.
Well, there you go, Professor Danny gang. He told you all how to do it. What a great story.
Yeah.
So, all right, what an amazing story. Like that's great. I'm so glad you shared it. So, what type of work are you in? What do you do for a living?
So I'm actually an educator as well, but not a teacher, not school. I help people. I teach people about finances. I'm a financial professional.
Oh,
Financial literacy is the number one crisis in America, and a lot of people are basically just scraping it by, and it's not their fault. It's something that our system doesn't do very well. It doesn't teach us finances. It doesn't teach us what strategies are already out there that could really help you, prepare, plan, save, grow your money, and be able to retire. So that's what I do for a living. I talk to families all day of all walks of life, and I teach them how to, retire and how to actually get to that point.
Danny, listen, you have hit a heartstring because everybody who's watching this needs to know some information that you have. So I don't want to draw it out because I want to get some other things with you. But what are some common mistakes that you think people make that stop them from accomplishing their retirement goals?
Now, Dr. Joe, this is a really great question. Now, I might get some like people might look at probably might look at me sideways for this reason, but the biggest mistake people get is that they're skeptic. They're very skeptic and they don't trust, right? So and it's fair because in this economy, there's always someone trying to scam you. There's always someone trying to like get the better of you. But there's people like me out there that are actually trying to help people. And the biggest like, wall I hit is that nobody is willing to give me 30 to an hour to sit down with them and actually have a conversation about finances. So being skeptical and not giving yourself the opportunity to learn is the biggest wall that anybody could hit. Because
Wow.
if you haven't taken the time to sit down with a financial professional and you are 30, 40, 50, 60, or even in your 20s, what are you doing with yourself?
Hmm.
If you don't know about finances, if what you know about finances is what you learn from your parents, then guess what? You're gonna struggle with finances. So the
Right.
biggest the biggest thing I could say about like finances and how to get them in order is reach out to a friend. You might know somebody that's actually a financial professional, but you might just not talk to them. Like reach out to them, see if they know somebody. Because I guarantee you, there's probably somebody in your circle that's a financial professional and would love to sit down with you and talk to you about finances.
Wow. That's amazing. I hope we all are listening. Reach out, find a financial professional. Don't be a skeptic. Do your research. Plan for that future because, Danny, nobody wants to get old and be broke. That's two
Also,
bad combinations.
also, there is a lot of financial professionals out there that will meet with you at no cost.
Are
So
there
if
any
you
are there any like institutions, organizations that maybe you can recommend that people can call, visit the website if they want more information?
definitely there is this group called it's called WFG, World Financial Group. They are
WFC. Okay.
Yeah, they are literally the Ubers of the financial industry. They saw that, for example, if you walk into Bank of America and you
Mhm.
try to sit down with them, they're not gonna look at you unless you have $150,000 in assets. So
Mm.
what WFG did was that they took the financial industry and they made it into a contractual work, kind of like Uber. Before you used to have to call a taxi, wait for a taxi.
Is this correct, Danny? Is that right?
That is correct. That
All
is
right.
correct.
Keep talking.
Um, yeah. So before you had to call a taxi, wait for a taxi, and then eventually the taxi will get there, and then you have to pay a fee based on how far you got. Now in your phone, you can literally look at an app and it tells you everything, and you can literally call an Uber 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before you have to go, and it'll be there for you. That's the same thing that World Financial Group did. They took the financial industry. They teach people like me and other people that are interested in learning how to do this business. And basically, we go out there and reach out to people that look like you and me, because just like you are reaching out to people about health and helping the African American community, and people like me, and you are very open. You take everybody.
Right.
Just like that, World Financial Group is doing the same for people.
Wow. That's great information, Danny. Wow.
Yeah. If anybody's interested, they could always find my profile and I will guide them in the right direction. Because honestly, our mission is to end financial illiteracy. There's so many families that are struggling, including my own. You know what I mean? Like we're struggling because nobody ever sat down with us and talked about finances,
Right.
and it's such a big issue, and it's something that people don't talk about.
That's true. We don't talk about finances and we don't talk about death as much as we need to. And
Mhm.
the two are kind of combined. So that's great, gang. I hope you all are listening to our brother Danny, who is dropping some dimes. So Danny, let's make a change and adjustment in the direction of our conversation. Let's talk about the 40 turn up. Tell us
Yeah.
about how you found out about the 40 turn up and what made you want to be a part.
Yeah, so I'm in a fraternity, Iota Phi Theta, and one of my brothers, an older brother, did the program last March. His name is Leonard Epps. I'm not sure if you remember it. He
I
has
know.
so many people.
Oh, I know Leonard Epps. Yeah.
Yeah. So he when he
That's
was doing it, he showed up and he like lost like 30 pounds and he looked really slim. We were doing a brunch and he just showed up and he was really happy. And he's like, yo, Danny, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then I was like, I was dealing with something in my life. I wasn't ready for the program. And I kind of brushed him off.
right.
And then the semester 3 months later, another frat brother did it, and he was very skeptical when he started, and then when he finished, he was really happy with his results, and he was like, "Oh, Danny, you have to do it." So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna commit to it. And then I looked at the information. Lennon was like, "Hey, Danny, Dr. Joe's doing a live at 6 o'clock on Saturday. If you're really interested, you have to be on it." And I was like, you know what? He told me like 30 minutes before. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hop on this and I'm gonna do it. And then you were talking about the program and
Wow.
what it took to be in it. And I was like, wow, like this is a big program, because when he first started, I thought it was like 40 people were meeting together and then they were losing weight together. I
Right.
didn't even know you were in Georgia. I thought you were in Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like when I saw there was like thousands of people watching you do this live, and there was thousands of people applying, I got very like, oh man, I have to do this now, and it's like I have to fight for my spot. I remember I haven't been this like stressed out about like getting into a program since college. Like it was like oh man, I have to do this email and I gotta do this and I have to make sure I do this. And I was trying to get my sister to do with me as well. So I was telling her, you have to do this and you have to do this. And then we both got in the program, and unfortunately, she didn't move forward. Something happened in her life, and that's her own journey.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'm super blessed to be in this program. And you know, can I speak a little more
Sure.
about about the language barrier? When
Yes.
you're struggling with language barrier, and you are generally a very enthusiastic and adaptive and very outgoing person by nature, you don't realize when depression hits you.
Mm.
You don't realize that you
Wow.
are overeating, that you are trying to finish everything in your plate because it's the only thing you have control over.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go outside, when you go to study, when you go to work, you have to do what you have to do to survive. But you just have all these things that are out of your control.
Right.
So when I got home, when I was by myself, after hours at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, I would do the only thing I have control of, which is putting things in my mouth.
Right.
And I didn't realize I was so out of control in that area of my life because I thought I had control over it. I'm choosing to put this pizza in my mouth right now. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I'm choosing to eat this mac and cheese. I'm choosing to eat this, drink this, 2 bottles of Coke a day. I
Mm.
mean, I thought it was. I thought this is my money. I get to spend my money on what I want, and this is again about finances. Like we're just always spending, we're just always buying, we're just always doing things. I didn't realize how much out of control I was by thinking I was in control.
Wow. That's powerful, Danny. I mean, you just broke some shackles with that one. I mean, a lot of people are listening. So you got into the process, you applied, it was stressful. How did it feel when you found out you were in?
I mean, I was so relieved, but then you hit me with a curveball.
Okay.
It doesn't stop for 2 months.
Right.
I'm like, this guy is crazy. Like he just made me sweat bullets to get into the program, and then I heard you like, oh, go be yourself for 2 months. And I used to think like 2 months, man, like this is crazy. Like in 2 months, I could be somewhere completely different in my life.
Right.
And I might not want to do the program no more.
Right.
But I was like, this is. I also found I've rekindled my relationship with God last year,
It's great.
so I've been like, trusting the process. It's all of God's plan. So
Right.
I'm like, if God put Dr. Joe's program in my mind in March of 2021, and I'm not meant to do it until March of 2022, that's God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
It took a whole year to get to this point of like day one for the program, then I have to trust it.
Mm.
And that's what I did, man. And for those 2 months, I was like, you know what? I have to like, eat a little healthier or like or do what I have to do. And I'll start and then I will fail. And I'll be like, you know what? It's okay. Dr. Joe says we'll start on this day. We're gonna start on that day. And I'm just gonna listen to the man and do what the man says.
Well, what a lot of people don't know is, well, they've heard your name, but I don't know they make the connection. You've gotten some great results, right?
Hmm.
How has it been since you started? Like, talk about your group. Who's your leader? Talk about your group. Let's talk about them.
All right, so we are the Kings on a Health Mission. I'm not sure if you guys saw our welcome video, but I think our video was the best.
Yeah.
I worked on it. I was really excited to work on the video. I wanted to bring a new flavor to the Facebook group. Our
Yes.
leader, our leader is brother Larry Matthews. I'm not sure if
Shout
you
out
know
to Larry.
Larry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Larry. Larry, you know what, Dr. Joe? Like Larry is the reason I'm in this program, right?
He's great.
Because like like even though I'm a financial planner, I'm gonna be completely candid. I'm dealing with my own financial struggles, right?
Right.
I'm learning the business. I'm learning how to do it. But I'm dealing with my own financial struggles. And when I started, and I stepped on that scale, right? I have it right here, actually.
Okay.
Um,
Take your time, Danny.
I stepped on this scale, right?
Okay.
Now, for anybody that's big like me, they know that this scale goes to 550 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what, Dr. Joe? I stepped on that scale, and I was bigger than that.
Wow.
I was bigger than that, and I was like, you know what? I can't be that far off. Like, I'll talk to Larry. He might let me do it for the first week, and if I get to the right way, um, what's it called? We'll move forward. And then Larry was like, well, you have to get yourself weight. And Larry was like, go to the firehouse. I'm like, go to the firehouse. And he like, yeah, go to the firehouse or go to the hospital, and they'll let you do it. I went to the firehouse. They're like, yeah, you sound crazy. I was like, hey, I'm just trying to get into this program. Went to the hospital that we have to give you a bill. and Larry blessed me with a scale. Larry blessed me with a scale that went up to 700 pounds, and
Wow.
he did it
Shout
out
out
of
to
the,
Larry.
yeah, he did it out of the kindness of his heart. And then when I stepped on that scale, Dr. Joe, I weighed 630 pounds.
Wow.
That was like a slap to the face, because like I never thought I would be that way. You know what I mean? I
Right.
never thought I would get to that point, and it was such an important part of the process that Larry got me that scale, because I was willing to jump into this process blindsided and not knowing how big I was.
Wow. Hmm.
And and Larry blessed me, and he called me, and he like, you know what, Danny, I want to bless you because I see that your heart is in it. I told Larry I did not want to cheat in this program once, I'm not gonna lie, I did cheat. I'm not doing the water intake like I'm supposed to do it, because it's hard when you have to drink 2.5 gallons of water every single day.
Right.
But you know what? I'm working on it, and I have had great results. And yeah, the team, the Kingston Health Mission, is big to that. I want to give a shout out to my partner,
Yeah.
Al Fisher, but I want to give a personal shout out to a brother named LG Harvey. Man, Luther has been a blessing. He's been calling me since day one. Luther was like, hey, I see you the biggest guy, and I come from the army, and in the army we have to make sure that our weakest soldier has the capacity to keep up with the rest. And he saw me, and he like, I think you're gonna struggle the most. And he's been on the phone with me so many hours, Dr. Joe. So
Wow.
I'm very blessed to be in a Kingston, be a part of the team called Kingston Health Mission under the leadership of Larry.
Wow. That's man. You every time you speak, Dan, you so full of just nuggets, man. That first of all, salute to you for your bravery. I want to salute you because obesity is something that is a dark cloud over our heads. I'm not saying my story was yours and your story was mine, but I think we can relate to a lot of things. Like it was something that I never thought I could get out of, you know? But as I continue to take the same steps you're taking, the Lord blessed me to get out of that. And it's something that I still have to work on, but it no longer has me by its strongholds. And I just want to speak those positive things over your life, and that you continue to head in the right direction. Now, share with the people, if you feel comfortable, how much you've lost.
So I believe my total count right now is 39 pounds.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome, man.
It's funny because when we get into when you get into a 4-day turn up, they sent you a little questionnaire. And the questionnaire, they ask you how many pounds you want to lose. And at that point, I was sitting there like, okay, like if I put a ridiculously high number, they're gonna look at me and laugh. So I put an acceptable number, right? I thought 30 pounds is acceptable in 6 weeks. And when I put that down, it didn't fit right in my heart. Because like when I did this program, I told myself I want to lose at least 10% of my weight.
Right,
And that's what I'm shooting for right now. 63 pounds, 63 pounds, which is funny because my fraternity was founded in 1963. So like 63 pounds, 63 pounds. I'm keep telling myself that in my heart and in my brain, and I'm at 40, and I'm not gonna stop until I go over 63. And then I was listening to the master class yesterday, and you said something that was so powerful. Like you're Moses, you're not Joshua, right? That's the
right,
name.
right.
I have to be my own Joshua, and I'm telling myself, even though if by April 16 I hit my goal of 63 pounds, it doesn't stop there. And that's the thing I like about your program a lot. Your program teaches people how to lose weight on their own,
Hmm.
and you spend a lot of time, you spend a lot of hours, you give so much to us, and you give us so much information, and you literally teach us how to lose weight on our own, how to get rid of it on our own. Like, because you're not with me every single morning.
Right.
I could post pretty pictures on Facebook. I could
Right.
literally cheat on my weight, and if I want to. But at the end of the day, you teach us how to lose weight on our own, and I like that about your process, because I have lost a lot of pounds before, and I put them right back on. But I'm very confident, and I'm praying to God, right? Because God has control over everything. That this process, the 40-day turn up, is the answer to ending my obesity problem.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that God continues to bless you so you could end obesity in America, because what you've been saying about America and how it operates is so true. Who would think that the country that you're born in or the country that you have your citizenship in will be working so hard against you?
Right. It doesn't make sense. And
It
it's
does
sad,
not make sense.
but it happens every day. Well, listen, Danny, you have been, I mean, just to hear your story, you're such an you're inspired. You've inspired me. And I'm so thankful that this process is bringing value to you and is meeting you in a way that you can see real results that are manifesting in your life. That means the world to me. And for you to say that your goal is 63 pounds and here you are 24 pounds away and we're at the halfway point. I want to speak that over your life, that you hit and that you exceed that, and that'll be a great foundation of many more pounds for you to lose and much more health for you to recapture, Danny. So I really appreciate you, man, for being a part. Do you have any final comments that you want to make to the people? Maybe someone who may be struggling. What would you like to say to them?
Yeah, I'll take a quick 3 minutes. When I started this program, I'm very headstrong. I'm very like proud, right? So like there was times where you will say some things that kind of hurt me personally, right? But you ain't your intention was not to hurt me. Your intention was to open my eyes, open my brain, so I could listen to you. My heart could listen to you. My soul could listen to you. And if you're struggling with this program, it's only because you're allowing yourself to struggle.
Mm,
If your mindset hasn't given up the fact that what Joe is saying, what Dr. Joe is saying, is not something you might like, then you're only hurting yourself. But at the
hmm
end of the day, Dr. Joe has something that we all want. We all want the answer to ending obesity. We all want the answer to getting out the pills. We all want the answer to living to 120. And if you're still struggling, it's because you're allowing your brain to not be aligned with your heart and your soul. Because if your heart wants to lose the weight, if your soul wants to lose the weight, and you're gonna let your brain get in the way of that, bro, you need to stop it. You need to stop it as soon as possible, because if you really want to live a life that you are proud of, you need to make sure that your brain and your heart and your soul are aligning. And if your soul and your heart want it, you need to shut your brain off and let your brain do what it does best: rest.
Wow, that's powerful, Danny. I think you got some minister in you. I think you've been called. You may be a preacher in you, Danny.
That's actually my calling. I have a calling to be a pastor.
Do you? I can hear it, man. That's great. That's great, my friend. Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on. The group thanks you for being on. Shout out to your leader, Larry. What a great story. Shout out to all of you, your partner, your buddy, and everybody else in your group. And we really, really appreciate you, Danny, for being a part. And I can't wait to, at the end of this process, but really the beginning of the next process, celebrate your victory of 63 pounds plus. Let's speak that.
Thank you, Dr. Joe, and you have a good evening.
You too, my friend. Be blessed. All
God
right.
bless you.
Okay. All right. We got brother Danny. What an amazing, amazing testimony. We're waiting for the Swains. I don't know if we're having some technical issues, but if you guys are watching, you all go ahead and log on so we can get you on as well. But wasn't that an amazing testimony? I mean, wow. I mean, from top to bottom, it's just great, for him to get on here and have his transparency. Let's give a shout out to brother Danny Flores. Dan, thank you for being part. And what we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our part 2 of Village Chat. We have a couple in the journey. This is Charles and Elaine Swain. How you guys are doing?
Have this transparency. Get in here.
Let's give a shout out to brother Turn off that in the background. Being part. And what we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our part 2 of Village Chat. We have a couple in the journey. There you go. There we, because it'll create an echo. How are you all doing? All right, let's see if we can take your can you take the mute button off? Do you see that? Okay. Because you guys muted yourselves and I can't get you on. Can you all do that? You don't see that?
How about now?
There you go. Yeah, that's it. Excellent. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Doing well. Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have you all. Charles and Elaine, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Well, thank you for being our guest. We're glad that you are a part. I can't get you on. What I need you all to do, I hear the echo. Can you turn off? Are you listening to this? You don't see that on another device? Because I hear
No.
it. There you go. Yeah, that's it. Excellent. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, to the Swains, we'll try to get you all on the next one. We're having some technical issues. I'm so sorry we couldn't go through with that, but I don't want for us to have all of that back and forwards. But we'll get that worked out and try to get you guys on a later episode. So I want to apologize to the Swains for that. I don't know what happened, but also want to be thankful to Danny Flores for his presentation and for calling in and letting us know just his story, because like at the end of the day, that's what connects us in ways that are just amazing. So what I want to do to make a pivot is I want to give you all the opportunity to call in. And when you call in, what I want you to speak to is I want you to speak to what your experience has been in this process thus far. I'll take a couple of calls so we can have more conversation. All right. I look forward to that. And I'm going to put the number on the screen. There it is. And we are going to open up the line. So I want you to call in because I want to hear from you all. How's your experience been? What are some things you've gotten out of it? What are some of your aha moments? What are some of your testimonials? Thousands and thousands of people will watch this. And for all we know, your story may make the difference.
Call from ZC Star Cuts.
This is Dr. Joe. Who am I speaking with?
Bina. Hi, Dr. Joe.
How are you? This is Via?
Bina.
Bina. Okay.
B-E.
Yes. How are you doing? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Covington, Georgia, and I'm doing pretty good.
Covington, Georgia. Tell us are you in the process?
I am in the process. Team MCT, which is More Than Conquerors. Shout out to our leader, Valencia, and all my teammates.
All right. Wonderful. Shout out. What would you like to say?
I just want to say this process has been absolutely just amazing. I came in, I'm a vegan, and I struggled. I've lost weight on my own, but I hit a major plateau and I couldn't understand why. And I learned so much from just all the information you've provided. And I began to realize that I wasn't taking in enough protein and enough fat.
Right.
And I just learned a lot as far as just weighing my food, how much I need. I thought that because I was vegan and lost a bunch of weight by myself, that I could just continue that and the weight will continue to fall off.
Right.
And because of this program, I learned more of the healthy fats that I need, more of the healthy carbs I needed, well, protein rather, and then just even weighing the foods and seeing that was just very, very enlightening. And it gave me control, and literally just every week shedding along with working out.
That's awesome.
Just shedding and literally seeing the change in my body, and it's amazing. This program is truly life changing. So I'm very, very thankful.
Well, do you feel that's great? Do you feel that the way the plan has been given to you, that is sustainable for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that I'm going to incorporate for the rest of my life. It's made me more aware. It's made me more aware than ever before. And honestly, it's been a whole life change as a whole. That's one of the things I know you discussed when we came on board. I think our first master class, the pre-work,
right.
The pre-work
right.
session. And you talked about just making changes as a whole and lifestyle changes, choices, where you go, what you do, just things along those lines. So just as a whole, it's just been enlightening. I feel more energized. I rest better. The cravings are completely gone, which is absolutely wonderful because I had to break up with coffee.
Yes, yes, I
That was
know.
one of my hardest things to do.
Yes, well, that's awesome. Let me ask you this: how long have you been a vegan?
Since 2017.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I was 212, and I got to 170. I got down to 166, and then I bumped back up to 178, and I just kind of stayed there for a while. And then I had already started like just tightening up on my eating before we did before the program kicked off. But once it kicked off, it was just like, wow. And I know we can weigh ourselves every day, but I love the element of surprise every Saturday morning.
Right.
When I step on that scale. That's like very, very rewarding.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
awesome. Well, let me ask you this. We're halfway until the finish line. Not that we stop, but in terms of for the sake of time, what are you looking to do within the last 3 weeks?
Honestly, I'm looking to learn more because I feel like I'm learning more and more every week, especially when we're submitting our meals. I'm looking forward to learning more. I'm looking forward to. I live in a big house with a lot of people, so everything I'm doing is being watched.
It's okay.
So I'm just looking forward to this. Just more of the knowledge and information. Seeing your wife every morning, getting into it.
Yeah.
With that workout, that pumps me up. Because I'm an early riser.
Yes.
And I've gained a really good relationship, a growing relationship with my buddy. That's a blessing. And then just the group is a blessing. So for me, it's just the element of surprise every week. I appreciate the sessions. I appreciate meeting up with my group. How you all communicate and just keep in touch and keep everything just going, keeping that energy going. I love it.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm so glad you've gotten value out of this, especially as a vegan. You know, I want to pat ourselves on the back because it's not many processes where meat eaters and vegans alike can cohabitate. As you know, it's either one or the other. So
right.
I think we have something very, very unique in terms of how we present it to where someone like you can still get everything else, someone who does eat meat, and we still cohabitate together because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad it brings value to you, and thank you so much for calling in. And I hope that your second half is better than your first.
Awesome, me too, and thank you so much.
Be blessed now.
All you too. Bye-bye.
What a great call. Yeah, gang, I'm really proud about that. You know, it's not many places that can take vegans and meat eaters in because a lot of folk will be dogmatic about one or the other. A lot of people who are vegans will tell you you can't eat meat. A lot of people, meat eaters, tell the vegans that you shouldn't do that. All right, we got another call.
Call from.
This is Dr. Joe. Who am I speaking with?
Dr. Joe, hi, this is Maggie Stewart. How are you, sir?
Hey, Maggie. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Everything is bigger in Texas.
That's what they say.
That's what they say, but not you, right, Maggie?
No. I'm originally from Louisiana. So.
Okay, all right. Tell us who's your team.
My team, Bina to win it. Our awesome leader is Miss Angela Bridges, and my buddy is Miss Rhonda Tatum. And we have a marvelous team, Dr. Joe. I am so grateful for this process.
That is awesome. Well, is there something particular you want to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I want to say I am the happiest I've been in years.
Wow.
And it's like a weight of the world has been lifted from my shoulders.
Wow.
My friend Deborah Mack talked about this process, this journey, and she wanted me to get involved. Of course, I want to get involved, and I was sort of like Danny, waiting and waiting. I had a nightmare. I was going to have problems getting into this process, this journey. And the day of, if I tell you I had some problems, problems getting in, but unfortunately I made it.
Wow.
But I'm happy, Dr. Joe. I'm happy. I'm excited about cooking. My family knows I don't cook. My son is no longer in my home. I don't have to cook for anybody, but I'm excited to cook because I know what I am doing is for me.
Yes. Yes, Maggie.
Me.
Yes.
I take care of everybody else, Dr. Joe. I will bend over backwards to help anybody. But this is for me, Dr. Joe.
Yes, Maggie. Yes.
For me.
For you.
I need this, and I will never, ever go back.
There you go.
I have been a self-sabotager of myself for many, many, many years, but never again.
Wow.
Dr. Joe, I watch Food Network every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
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 But I have never, ever cheated on this program. Now, I will say is my exercise has to go up about 2 more notches.
Okay.
Get there. But Dr. Joe, I just wanted you to know that I am so happy, sir. If I could give you $1 million, I would. This is what
I'll take it, Maggie.
The journey has done for me.
Praise God. That's great. I'm so happy. I'm so very, very happy that once again, you got 3 different people, to hear your story, to hear the story of our other callers, to hear Danny's story, different people getting results, getting value. That is such a blessing, Maggie. Now, Maggie, being that you love to cook, if I'm ever in Houston, I'm going to come by now and you're going to have to whip me up something.
You know I will.
All right now. You're going to make it a journey approved meal now.
You have been a blessing. You have been a blessing. I am so grateful to you, Dr. Joe, for God.
Yes, ma'am.
Giving you.
Yes, ma'am.
Giving you, sir.
Well, I'm thankful.
I really like that you are a no BS type of person. And the master class yesterday,
yes,
I can't speak for anybody but Maggie, but I needed it.
Good. I'm glad. And let me tell you something, Maggie, it's going to help you. You've done something that most people have not done, and that is you've been real with yourself, and you said to yourself, I got to get the exercise up. And for you just to identify that and have it in your heart, and you're going to work at it next week, you're going to continue to improve, Maggie. And one day, that exercise is going to be something that if you don't do it, you're going to miss it because you're going to become a part of it, and it's going to become a part of you. So the point that I'm making is you have the right mindset to manifest the type of changes that you need to, and I want to salute you and congratulate you for that.
Thank you, sir. And
Okay.
I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. I know that we grown folk have got on your last everlasting nerve. I know that. I know that, sir. I know because you were trying to hang yourself one day.
Yes.
Okay. But I thank you, sir, for not giving up on us because you said that you bringing value to our lives.
That's right.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
In the short time that you've known me, you brought value to my life. And I thank you. I can't thank you enough.
Well, I thank
like
you.
Like Kathy Taylor said.
Well, I thank you for calling in and for sharing your story. To God be the glory. And I'm so thankful of the results that you've gotten. And we got a whole lot more to get together now, Maggie, okay?
Absolutely, sir. I mean, I'm not going to go back. I'm serious.
All right. Well, you be blessed.
I've come too far. Thank you.
Thank you for calling
sir.
in. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call from Maggie all the way out in Houston. We got a call. We have a guest from, we'll take one more, a guest from Connecticut. We have a caller in Conyers and in Houston. Who's going to close us out?
Call from.
This is Dr. Joe. Who am I speaking with?
This is Ron Montgomery.
How you doing, sir? This is Ronald.
This is Ron. Yeah, Ronald or
Ronald.
Ronald.
Okay. Welcome, Ronald. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Calling from Garland, Texas.
Garland, Texas. And are you in the process, Ron?
Yes.
All right.
I'm in the process.
Who is your group?
We started on March the 7th.
Who's your group?
We're the lightweight champs.
Lightweight champs, who's your leader?
Kendrick Meek.
All
Brother
right.
Kendrick Meek.
Yeah, I know him. I know him very, very well. He's a fine young man. Fine young
Yes,
man.
he is.
He's a great leader. I'm glad he's standing shoulder to shoulder with me in ministry. Tell us what you would like to say, sir.
Dr. Joe, I just want to thank you for having this process. I'm quite a bit overweight, and I've been trying to get it under control, but I just haven't been able to discipline myself.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate your leadership in that direction.
Well, praise God.
As a matter of fact, I guess I was kind of introduced to the process a little bit backwards because I just happened to see one of your one of your video presentations, and you seem to be kind of like a pretty off the wall character. And I didn't know if this was a serious thing or not.
Yeah.
But my wife is familiar with one of your students, as it were, and I mean, her life was transformed by this process, and she swears by it.
Wow.
And so I was listening to my wife talk, and she was getting very interested in it too, because of some things that she wanted to do nutritionally with her life. And we joined the process, and we're in the midst of it now.
That is great.
And I want to let you know that I really appreciate what you're doing. And, you know, my first impression of you, Dr. Joe, I'm going to tell you, was quite strange. In the sense, man, this man can't tell me nothing to do. because you identified this, is because, I mean, and you know, you have kind of an abrasive way of doing things.
Yes, I do. Yes.
But I mean, the thing, and after getting into this, I understand how that is and how it works, because this is a proverbial separating the wheat from the chaff.
Yes.
Because I was getting ready to be that chaff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't listen to what this man said. He's insulting me. But then I got to thinking about it. He's pointing out to me my weaknesses. If I listen to this and I try to correct those things and not take it personally in the sense that I'm being insulted, but take it instructionally in the sense that I'm being taught, I have a better approach about this. And I have. We were in church this morning. Well, actually observing church online. And the pastor went from 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, saying, preach the word. This is Paul telling Timothy what he had to do. Right. And he said, no matter what the results of other things, you know what the truth is. You know what the word is. You preach it, no matter what their response to it, whether they accepted, rejected, curse you, or feel bad about you, or feel bad about themselves. Don't let anything stop you from preaching the word. And I said, dog, boy, Pastor must be talking about Dr. Joe.
You tickling me, Ron.
How anybody feels about you, you know, you are preaching the word. And I do believe, Dr. Joe, that this is your ministry.
Yes, sir. And
I want to let you know that I think that you're extremely successful at it. I know that you've been successful at it in my life and my wife's life too. So I just want to say thank you, Dr. Joe.
Well, I want to thank you, sir, for taking the time. You seem like a great man. I can just tell. And I'm thankful that this process can bring a man of your stature value. I'm glad that it's bringing your wife value and your family. And I pray that you're able to recapture in your health, your wellness, and your time on this planet from this process in order that you can do what God has sent you here to do, sir. So thank you for calling.
You're very welcome. And Dr. Joe, just want to let you know that one of the things that I told my wife, I said, I'm not in this to change Dr. Joe. I don't want to do anything different, although at first I thought that's what I want.
Right.
I'm here to change myself.
Right.
And I've got to look at it from that point of view. What'd you say, Tom?
Tom, we're vegan.
Oh, and my wife told you to know that we are vegans.
Okay.
This is working great for us.
Excellent. Great.
We're getting to explore the 27,000 varieties of plant life.
Awesome.
As opposed to the 7 varieties of animal life that we've been eating all our lives.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, you all keep it up, and I'm proud of you, sir. And it's a pleasure speaking with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Be blessed. Okay. All right, brother Ronald, for calling us in. Thank you, sir. And gang, what a great conversation. I love the candor. I know, but in this time, you have to, let me tell you something about me, and I'll hush. For a long time, I was who I acted like I thought others expected of me. But this has been one of the only spaces in my life when I'm completely who I am, unapologetically. I love people. I love ministry. I love God. And I love working at trying to be an asset to my own people. That doesn't mean that I can't help people who are not from my community, but I want to be a leader that when I go, when my time on this planet is up, that Black people can say he was an asset to us. And whoever else I help in the interim, so be it. Because I feel that a leader who calls themselves a leader should be able to point to his or her body of work to say, what have you done? What difference have you made? And so many of my people need this, because I told you all, I got tired of preaching funerals of folk who are in their 30s with heart attacks and strokes and other illnesses that they could otherwise not have had they known. And I told myself then, this is how I want to address the issues of my own people. And that's what I'm continuing to do. And I'm going to continue to do it as long as God says, and as long as people like you support me, that I can continue to be independent. Because that's why I can say what I want, because I'm independent. You see, I don't have to stand trial at a corporation for breaking community guidelines. A lot of stuff that I do is not politically correct, but it's working. You see, a lot of times I say things that's offensive, but it's working. A lot of times I say things that people wince, but it's working. When you have a place where a man who was born in Puerto Rico learned English in the States, a husband and wife who are vegans, who were meat eaters their whole life, people of different walks can all come together and receive something of value. You have something that has been breathed upon by God. So I'm honored to serve y'all. And yes, y'all do get on my nerves, but it's no different from Moses. The folk got on his nerves too, but he kept on. I'm human. I'll keep on. And I just pray that God gives me the strength until I can get this to the point to where it's self-sufficient, that it can run without me. Got a long way to go. A lot more lives to change, hopefully, positively, a lot more work to do. And many of you who are watching will be shoulder to shoulder as we help other people. And that's what we're going to do. So I thank you all. My apologies to the Swains for our technical difficulties. We'll work through that and be certain that we hear your story. I have someone contact you guys this week. We'll work that out. But at the end of the day, God doesn't make mistakes. There's a reason why that happened. God doesn't make mistakes, and we're going to work through it to get you all because we want to hear your story. Okay. Love y'all. Have an amazing day. Get good rest. Remember, tomorrow's not a new day. It's not a new week. It's a new dimension. I'll be live in the morning at 8:30 a.m. to provide your performance analysis and statistical review. Love y'all. Have a great day. And thank you for joining us on Village Chat. Until we meet again, be blessed. Peace.